In Nigeria, many people believe that once you buy a land and get a deed of assignment or deed of lease, you own the land. According to the laws of the Federation, you must just be a high-end tenant of that land. If you don't understand the difference between freehold and leasehold, you risk losing your investment to the government, or you risk not being able to renew your title in 50 years, 48, 45 years from now. So to understand freehold and leasehold, we have to go back to 1978 when the Land Use Act of 1978 was implemented. And what this law basically entails is that all land in the state is held in trust by the government of the state. And what this Land Use Act did was to essentially turn all property ownerships in Nigeria to leasehold. Once you purchase a land from the government, they are giving you the land for 99 years, and that is statutory leaseholding. So technically, you're a leaseholder of the land for 99 years. Essentially, if you're given a CFO, that's a leasehold transaction because the government leased the land to you for 99 years. But does freehold still exist in Nigeria? Yes, it does. Freehold exists in Nigeria in terms of ancestral land. So there are people who have owned land before the Land Use Act of 1978 was enacted. And these people are the freeholders of the land. When the act was enacted, government gave them back the land, the ancestral land. That's basically returning the family land back to the owners of the property. Ancestral land is basically land that was owned by a family before the enactment of the Land Use Act of 1978. Another instance where freehold exists is in excision. After the Land Use Act of 1978 was passed into law, right, the government returned back the land that was owned by communities back to them. That is excision. When the act was enacted, it gave all lands to the government, but the government returned the lands back to the communities, and this is what we call excision. The advantage of a freehold over the leasehold in Nigeria is that it doesn't have the 99-year lease attached to it. However, to truly secure your land, you must get a CFO for the property. This technically turns the land into a leasehold. So the 99-year leasehold, basically what the Land Use Act of 1978 came into law to accomplish. That is, all lands belong to the government. And when you buy a property from the government, you're given a certificate of occupancy. That's the first ever transaction on that property from the government to an individual. So that's the first ever transaction, and you're given 99 years to hold that property. That's the government leasing the property to you for 99 years. Technically, all property transactions, all real estate transactions in Nigeria are leaseholds because you get a CFO and that's for 99 years. However, they can be renewed after 99 years. Since 1978, there's no CFO that has expired because it's not up to 99 years. But I think it should be about 48 years, give or take. In the future, when people's lands begin to expire, maybe it might not be you that will renew it. Maybe it might be your kid or something, the person you pass it on to, right? You renew it at the Ministry of Lands. Provisions have been made for the renewal of lands. It's not a big deal. They are not saying that you cannot renew your land, or after 99 years, they will take the land back from you. They're just saying that after 99 years, you come back and still show that you are in ownership, you're in possession of this property, that you still have control and power, and you still have interest over this property. So let's compare the two. Freehold has an indefinite expiration date. That means you can hold the land till infinity, while leasehold is for at most 99 years. It is harder to use a freehold as collateral, while it is much easier. It is accepted to use a leasehold property as collateral. Basically, banks don't accept properties without the CFO as collateral. Titles that accompany freehold are gazette, while the titles that accompany leasehold is usually the certificate of occupancy. In Nigeria today, a leasehold with a CFO of 99 years is usually seen as safer than a freehold with no title or just a gazette. Because the CFO means that the government recognizes your ownership of this property and they're allowing you to use this property for this amount of time. While a freehold just basically means you're holding this land independent of the government. Until you turn a freehold into a leasehold, the government is independent of your land. You should not get caught up by the term leasehold. Leasehold doesn't mean that you're a tenant of the land. It just means that the government has given you this land to work for 99 years and you can renew it after 99 years. Doesn't mean it's not a term you should be afraid of. It is what you should be looking forward to. You should be looking forward to leasing properties from the government. You should be looking forward to the government giving you properties to hold for them. Do you understand? To have autonomy over, right? Because when the government gives you the land, they cannot come and take that land. They cannot come and override your interest on that land. Because when they've given you the authority over the land for 99 years. Then you renew it after 99 years. So before you pick the next plot in Enugu or in Nigeria or wherever you are, and they tell you that is a leasehold property, you won't be scared because you've listened to Victor. And Victor told you that leasehold properties are properties that you should actually be looking forward to paying for. Until the next video, I'm Victor Andy. It was lovely speaking to you, and see you on the next video.